Hello everybody, Peacemaker here. Welcome once again to SkinClub YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the IEM Melbourne 2025 tournament that is about to start pretty soon, 21st of April until the 27th of April. 1 million prize pool, 16 teams participating, and man, I love the energy in Melbourne. It's always, the tournament always delivers. I love the crowd, I love the passion from the fans, and I love the teams participating this time around. We have pretty much all the best teams in the world. There's a Spirit who was supposed to be there, but is going to skip the event for health issues, whatever, trying to recover from the last couple of events. There's some other teams missing, but in general, we have pretty good teams, pretty good list. We have two Brazilian participants, which obviously, as a Brazilian, I'm going to be cheering for them. But one of them, Pain Game, is going to have a stand-in because their coach actually, right? Because Biguzeira won't be able to play. And we have teams who didn't qualify to the major, who's going to this event with a little bit extra pressure in their shoulders in order to perform, but also a little bit this motivation, right? To some extent. But at the same time, you should take this opportunity to, you know, bounce back and try to gain as many points as possible since you're not participating at the major, right? It's the case of like Saul, for example, you know. I think they definitely should take this tournament very serious. We also have Game Elysian, right? Heavy disappointment. But yeah, here you have the prize pool distribution, how it's going to work, club shares all the way, which is very nice for the organizations. And then we have the tournament format, which is the most important, right? Double elimination BO3, group winners advance directly to the same ice, second and third places goes to the quarterfinals, and the others are eliminated. Obviously, playoff, single elimination BO3, grand final BO5, love it. That's just how it is. And then, yeah, club share $700,000, player share 300,000 in 1 million total prize pool, which is amazing. Obviously, ranked tournament, very important one. But now that we broke through, we went through all the tournament format, all the important informations. Here we have the groups, and we're going to be using this because what we're going to do today is a tier list. And then here we are, where we're going to be trying to decide based on these tiers, what do we think? Who do we think are the playoff favorites? Who do we think could actually make to the playoffs? Upset potential, champions, who do you think is going to win the event? And then there is the Kangaroo Tour. I always try to do these funny memes with the last ranking, which is basically the teams or the team that I think is going there just for a little vacation, and I actually don't even believe they have upset potential, which sounds very harsh, but there's always someone who doesn't win a single match, right? It is what it is. So let's get it started, and I always like to start from the bottom, usually, right? To make it like more exciting for you guys on who do I think is actually winning the event. So I mean, who do I think is going there and doesn't even have a chance of upset potential, right? We can see that based on the first initial matchups as well, right? I think it's important that we see who is people playing so we get a better understanding out of that. FlyQuest has a tough mission, even though they're playing at home. They play Vitality in the first game, BO3, so that's a very tough one. It would be a heavy disappointment. Usually they don't do very well when they play at home, but I don't know. For some reason at this time around, I think they might do a little bit more damage. So I'm gonna play it safe here, and I'm not gonna say that the home team is gonna be doing. I mean, they don't even need to travel, right? There's no vacation. I mean, there could be on a vacation at home. Why not? But I don't think that's the case. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that Pain Gaming, because they're playing with their coach, they're playing against FaZe Clan in the first match. FaZe with a lot of pressure in their shoulders, trying to perform, trying to prove themselves once again. It's a good tournament for FaZe as well. They did great in the past in Melbourne, in Australia. So, just to be honest, I'm just going to say Pain Gaming is there just for vacation. Unfortunately, playing without the IGL, with the coach, with all the, you know, having a standing as well on demo, not having a permanent roster, I think is going to be too much for them. So they are my Kangaroo Tour team, absolutely. And then let's see if I add someone else. But for now, let's leave it like that. Who has upset potential between these teams. First one that comes to my mind is definitely MIBR. I don't think they could make it to the playoffs, to be honest, but I think they definitely have what it takes to upset some of these teams. Upset potential as well. I guess we can put Seoul for sure, even though they didn't qualify to the major, but they are a great team. They have done pretty good already with the new roster. So Seoul, definitely upset potential, could upset some of these teams. FlyQuest, right? Home team, with the crowd in their favor and all the hype, all the energy. I think they could definitely upset and surprise everyone. But yeah, Kangaroo Tour as well. You know, I was thinking about Big as well. Big has been a heavy, massive disappointment for me. And even though I think that, yes, they do have upset potential, I don't know. I just get the feeling that this might be the case where they just go there and shit the pants, like, and don't do anything. Honestly, against some of these teams. The thing is, like, is Big capable of beating any of these three teams here? And that's the thing, right? I do think they are. Like, especially MIBR and FlyQuest, I definitely think they are. So, I mean, if I do think they are able to beat, then I might as well just put them on upset potential to be, you know, fair with them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put them here, but I kind of wanted to put them in the lower tier on the Kangaroo Tour, but whatever. Then moving forward, we could make playoffs, I would say. We have 4 teams here. So we could put, like, we can add some teams who could make it to the playoffs. And the first one that comes to my mind is Complexity because of the last few performances. They have been doing very, very well lately. I'm going to say Virtus Pro could make it, but I don't think they are 100% making it, you know, and they could be one of the favorites. So Virtus Pro, absolutely. 3D Max is in this list as well. Game Elysian, I know many people was going to say, like, yeah, they did bad at the major qualifiers and all of that. But you know what? I think that maybe the impact from not having their coach full-time helping them during the game might have affected this roster quite a lot. So I'm just going to say that Game Elysian is in the same tier as these other teams where they could actually surprise in a normal tournament environment on land and all of that. They could actually play even better. So I'm just going to say that these are the 4 teams that could actually make it to the playoffs. And my last team in this list has to be Team Liquid. And I'm going to put them like in the middle of these 2 other teams here on the, you know, because I think there's definitely the surprise factor is still in their favor. We don't know what kind of Liquid is going to show up. If it's a Liquid from the last few matches, the first initial matches with Shui, then yeah, they don't look great at all, and they probably won't. But they definitely had some more practice time, and I think they might do better. They might do great, and they could actually make it to the playoffs. Just by firepower-wise, I would say they could already be a lot better than any of these teams below their ranking, you know, below their tier. So I'm just going to say Liquid could make it to the playoffs. Very unlikely. Actually, I'm just going to put them like towards the end. I think it's very unlikely. I think I would favor all these 4 teams on top, to be honest. Just being honest and frank about the fact that they just changed the roster. They have a new player, new IGL. It takes time to figure all that stuff out. So Liquid is going to be placed here. Then we have playoffs favorites, right? And playoff favorites is gonna give a good idea for you guys watching. Who do I think that might be the champions, right? And if you actually think about it, like, it's pretty crazy that I put FaZe Clan on playoff favorites. So, I mean, the few recent performances does make me want to do this and just put them on could make it playoffs, because I do believe FaZe is right now kind of like hit or miss. They either do very well and they could make it, they could be playoff favorites, or they can barely make it to the playoffs, and they could make it, as the tier says. So yeah, man, that's rough. I'm gonna do it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. But you know, I do believe that there should be more teams with upside potential here. And based on the recent performances, I think it's pretty unfair that we have like 6 teams that could make it to the playoffs and we have only 4 on upside potential. So I'm just going to say I'm just gonna say, I guess Liquid for now, right? Like they do have upside potential, but could they actually make it to the playoffs with this new roster above all of these teams? Or do we actually believe in Complexity that they could actually make it to the playoffs? Or they are just like a type of upside potential team, but they can actually make it to the playoffs with this roster? You know? Virtus Pro also very disappointingly lately, like it's very hit or miss. So yeah, it's a tough one. You know what I'm gonna do? I kind of want to see the last few results from VP. See if that gives me any indication of anything. Like they lost the Game Illusion, beat Astralis, Furia, Liquid. I mean, they beat Liquid. What about this score? It was a very close game on Mirage and a very good performance on Dust. I mean, honestly, all of these teams, they could actually make it to the playoffs, you know? So I do want to be fair towards all of them, even though it kind of feel like there's something missing here. So whatever. I guess I'm just going to leave it like this and stop wasting time. So let's go to playoffs favorites. And I guess you guys are very anxious about my opinion on Falcons, right? And I'm just going to say that we can start with them. I think it's very hard. I kind of wanted to put them on could make it to the playoffs. Because I don't think like you change the roster and then it's just plug and play and you play great from the get-go. So this could backfire, but at the same time they have so much firepower and such a honeymoon period where they could actually peak performance and play very well, even though they haven't had much practice. And it's not like they're introducing a completely new player, young player who doesn't have much experience. We're talking about Monazzi. We're talking about chemistry between Nico and Monazzi. So I'm just gonna go and say that they will make it to the playoffs, in my opinion, and they could be one of the favorites because of the last result where they won, right, in PGL, and just the fact that Monazzi brings a lot of firepower to the team. So I'm just gonna go and put Monazzi Falcons here. Together with that, I have to say that I don't believe that Na'Vi is going to win the event, but they are definitely always one of the playoff favorites. So I'm just gonna put Na'Vi here. And then that leaves us with three other teams, and I guess you guys know which grand final I'm talking about. Because, yes, the Mongols has been very disappointing lately, but I think that there was a one tournament or two tournaments thing. I definitely think that they certainly will have the motivation to prove themselves once again. And I think that Melbourne might be the case where they again surprise and perform just as good as they did back in the days. Their last few performances kind of does make me want to put them and could make it to the playoffs, but I'm just going to respect the fact that they have proved myself over and over again that they are capable of reinventing themselves and coming back stronger. So I'm just going to put them here. And if after this tournament they disappoint me once again, then I guess they might want to go on their roster changes because they might as well try to do something because they're not getting better, right? And then we're talking about a grand final between Vitality and Mouse. And if that's the case, I guess you guys already know who do I think are the favorites and is going to win. Based on the last few times these two matched up against each other, we already seen what happened. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is the Vitality era and they will be the champions of IEM Melbourne 2025. And I want to know in the comments below, and obviously if you like the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and please leave it in the comments who do you think is going to win, and who do you think that maybe, I don't know if you liked my tier list, if you agree with some of the decisions or not. Just leave it in the comments. I want to know your thoughts, okay? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers!